is up for it.
Yeah, I'm down.
We are currently recording.
Thank you.
Not
So-
streaming, just recording.
Oh no, you're fine.
So this seems like a
That
good
is
open spot.
correct. This is where the main hubs of basic stores and groceries get a lot of foot traffic early in the morning of people doing the sundries, and stuff like that. The taverns are there's a tavern over here and over here. There's not a lot of business there for you guys.
So, and none of the shops or anything care that we're playing outside of them. We're causing a ruckus or whatever, right?
No. Usually, you guys not necessarily draw a crowd, but people like. How consistently have you guys been doing this? You said it's a morning ritual.
Yeah. So it's a daily like busking.
Yeah, people know you. People,
Yeah.
People seen you guys for months now. Seen you. You guys are kind of a name for yourselves out here. They know who you are. Like you're. Okay, cool. I was worried you weren't able to move her. Awesome.
All right. So
I
it,
got you.
in response to reading the flyer that I saw,
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little amped right now. So I just started.
All right, go ahead and make a performance check and make it with advantage if Miss Aurora is helping.
Yeah, definitely.
It's still early, but you're pretty well into it. You go ahead and Aurora, are you dancing?
Yeah.
All right, you go ahead and make me a performance check as well with advantage.
Okay.
I'm going to do what I do, Brennan, and while they're performing, just kind of look around for shinies, etc.
How do we roll
actually-
on here?
Oh shit. That is something I did not give to you, and I will need to give to you both. So Jordan and Tiffany, can you please, are you guys using Google?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
What do you
you,
yeah.
mean, Google? Gmail? Chrome?
no, Chrome.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm using
Go to, I think it's Beyond 20. If you type in Beyond, is that right, Ritter?
Beyond 20
Yeah.
Chrome extension?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and get the Beyond 20 Chrome extension. What that's going to do is it's going to, anything you click on
If it helps, I rolled a 1 and got a +7.
to perception.
No, that was my sleight of hand, but I'll take that.
I
towards
don't see.
perception.
Where are you rolling at?
I didn't roll 20 in D&D Beyond.
Oh, I can see. Yeah, I can see that in the game log.
So I
Yeah.
just add Beyond 20 to Chrome.
Yeah.
It works
And
for
then-
Firefox as well if you prefer
Yeah.
Firefox.
And basically-
I don't.
I
You'll
thought.
probably have to do a close and bring everything back on Chrome. It's what I'm doing just to make sure it accepts all the extensions.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I completely forgot. Basically, what that does is if you roll anything on D&D Beyond, it rolls it on Roll20. So you don't have to do a / roll 1d20 plus whatever. It just rolls your character.
Okay.
What are your rules on like taking 10? Like when you're not under duress?
I mean, yeah, if it's something you're pretty proficient in, you're not gonna get anything.
Oh my
super
god!
good. What?
It actually rolls a dice on the screen.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
yeah, it's very aesthetically pleasing too.
Both of
It's
them can
really
do that.
aesthetically pleasing. So do I
And it
also
all-
get advantage?
Yes, you did also have advantage. And Jordan, if you would, before you make that sleight of hand check, I wanted you to make a perception check if you could.
Yeah.
Hey, that's better. 22.
Oh shit! All right. So, the clinking of coins is just kind of happening. So, Davey, you're just going dum 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum.
It
Starting to
doesn't show up. There we go.
Starting to get a starting to get a flow going, and as that happens, just Aurora's glow just occurs as she just gets into the dance, and people are turning. Their mornings are a little bit brighter from seeing this. This is great. You guys get about like over the course of not even an hour, you get about 10 silver. Like you guys are having a great morning. Jordan, uh Sterling, are you on that roof right now?
I would be watching, having been with tech support for a while. I would be watching and supporting and basically just going, ooh, shiny toys, ooh, shiny toys. And like I explained to him, I'm not necessarily interested in what brings the most wealth and or value. I would happily be just as distracted by a bunch of kids playing in a corner with literally shiny objects than I would a bag of coins.
So on your perception check that you rolled, you do see you've been in this place for a while with them, and this is not out of the blue for them to see this. And a couple of the grocers have made a habit of leaving, not necessarily like tinfoil, but like leaving an apple with a little foil stem, and that's just yours. Like they know that you're just out and about. If they see these two, they know that you're there. And Gladys got it in her head that you're just much too skinny. You need to eat.
I'm happily going for it. It's shiny. I'm going.
And you see these. You get a couple apples, and you watch your friends perform, and as the performance comes to a close, how long do you guys plan on jamming for?
I think an hour is a good warm up.
All right, awesome. So as you guys begin to, so you got 10 silver. Go ahead and make additional performance checks, and this will be to close it out.
With advantage still?
This will not be with advantage. So advantage was kind of like you're in the groove. Now you've been doing it for quite some time, and you guys are in sync. It's working great. Kind of before Davey was kind of behind and you were glowing up, and now you both are just the highs hit the highs, the lows hit the lows, and your body and clothing that you wore today is flowing very smoothly. Can you describe how would Aurora be dancing in the morning?
I mean, it's probably going with the music, right? She tends to wear very loose, light clothing that she's able to move pretty flexibly in. Her dance style is really closer to like belly dancing.
Nice.
And so yeah.
Awesome. So as this tall tall, pale man and his weird instrument is just thundering this groove throughout the shopping center. This
It's kind of like Evanescence.
yeah, a little bit. Just if one of them was very tall, pale, and brooding, and the other one was kind of bubbly.
Yeah, a little.
So it's about, let's say it's about 10:30 now, and you guys are a little bit losing interest. Not necessarily losing interest. You guys did get you guys ended up getting about another 12 silver. Excuse me, I forgot to put silver. Divide that however amongst you which. If you want, you can do that after session. I'm going to make a list going. 22 silver in the loot tab.
How interested in silver is Sterling?
It
I mean,
depends. It's like if it's shiny, he'll go for it, but he's not going to steal it from people. His affliction to shiny is more like, ooh, this hit the ground, or ooh, I saw someone drop this in their coin pouch. Nab. he's not going to be vindictive about it. This is more of a mental affliction of see shiny, must take shiny. If someone says, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? That's mine." "Oh, apologies, apologies. Here you go," and he'll offer back more than likely more than he took.
Okay, so offering a tribute from what we got from busking is good natured, and as long as you get something shiny out of it, that would be
He's probably gonna try and fly and grab a handful.
okay. Yeah,
But it's not like he's going to be like, "Oh, all of this is mine." He's just going to swoop in, grab a handful, and fly off. And then later he'll go, "Hey, I found some shinies," and give you a big chunk of that back.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear it. Go ahead.
So I hold out a handful of 7 silver for Sterling while we're wrapping up.
How much do I get, Brennan? How much do I roll?
Are you just gonna take his offered 7?
I mean, if he's literally handing it up to me, yeah, it'll get dispersed upon whatever nests I can find. If it's a random roll, I'll roll whatever.
No, you get the full offered amount. He's offering it to you freely.
Oh, if it's mine, all of it is gonna disappear into my nests. And I have no idea what I'm doing with it, so it's just coinage disappeared to whatever nests you say I have.
Currently, there's 2 within range.
And then I'll take 7, and Aurora can take the 8 for being on point and getting the crowd worked up with her dance.
Sure, why not?
I won't even add it to my inventory.
All right, so I mean, you guys have a little bit of the day. What else would you want to do? Do you want to explore a little bit more around? Do you want to go and prep? The morning is all yours to talk and do with as you please.
So I'm going to ask Aurora. So I know that you've been going to the Temple of Hoketh working on a new dance.
Yeah. And you've been working on I don't know what.
I may be a little interested in going to this performance tonight. Care to crash it with me?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure he has a good reason for being a dick.
Well, let's go somewhere private. I want to see this dance, see if I can get in groove with you.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
I don't know if I'm ready to share it yet. There are a lot of missing pieces. I was actually thinking about going down to the docks and seeing if there are any new performers in from any faraway places. Check out what they've got.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so you guys make your way to the docks, and I'm going to take you over there now. So you guys make your way over to the docks. It's right over here. And you guys, as soon as you enter, it is like night and day as you travel out of the morning hustle and bustle of some established shops waking up and everyone kind of getting in the groove. You go into here where it is business. Everyone is hawking wares. It is a giant little market that is happening of everyone that's coming in and out of the city. And you guys are making your way straight on through to right here. And
To right where? I missed it.
to right here, to
Okay.
this area here, the dock district. Now the dock district is it does not care who you are. The dock masters and the captains have a schedule to keep, and that's what it is. It doesn't matter if you're a council member, it doesn't matter if you're a royalty. These ships go. They know what they're doing, and it is just a night and day of real chaos over here and organized mess. Like people are going back and forth, and it seems like to anyone that hasn't kept up going here, like you and Aurora and Sterling have been here several times, that the chaos that you see is very controlled. It's these guys are lifting cargo in and out and going back and forth. You see you do see a couple elven ships that are in the port right here that are unloading. They are very uniquely shaped. Like they look a little bit different than the normal ships that you see. And a lot of the fishermen are just coming back in. Not many different races that you're seeing today. I'd say most of the time you're seeing humans and elves and dwarves. What does catch your eye is there is this tiny ship, this tiny shining ship, and out of it is pouring gnomes and dwarves that are coming out and coming up through.
Do I see anyone that looks like they might be a performer coming in?
You see a few people in fineries, but no one that looks like entertainer outwardly. It would be hard to spot. I don't think so. Go ahead and make a perception check. Let me see if you see anyone of note. So you do see someone. You see. Get my notes out of the thing.
I'm digging that in D&D Beyond. There's a game log too.
Yeah, it's very useful to have that. So you actually do see someone. You see a incredibly pretty elven woman who has a little bit of a retinue to her. Who is
she tasty?
softly very. Davey, your eyes would be drawn to her as well as soon as you see. She's softly strumming on a lute as she goes and just humming. And she stops and touches the arm of one of the dock masters, and he's just brimming with happiness. He is so ready for the day.
Do I recognize her?
After about a year here, go ahead and make you would know her as Delphi Neff.
Okay, so she's from around here.
Yes,
Okay.
she is. So Delphi Neff is the. Let me see if I have a token of her.
Did you see my token?
No,
Yes.
I didn't, because I have it zoomed in really hard. I don't see where you are.
Let's try it again.
I'm sorry. So you see this person.
Only not quite as large.
Nope, not quite as large.
Yeah, it's not letting me do it.
All right, hold on. Let me make sure that you have permission real quick because it's being a dick.
Dogs are
Edit.
using their shit.
You should. So you're not able to just drag your token off from the journal and put it in?
Now I can.
Awesome. I guess I just didn't save it because I suck. So this is Delphi Neft. You guys have seen her a couple different times. She is always with a retinue of people that are coaching stuff off of ships. she is. You've seen her maybe 2 or 3 times. Oh, the puppies. She is the head of Avandra's gallery.
Avandra's gallery.
Avandra's gallery, which is AVA and DRA apostrophe S.
I was getting
Gallery.
ready to ask for you to put that in the chat.
I put it in the chat for you guys. And she is constantly so you guys know that she plays music everywhere she goes and sings, and her retinue is usually her entourage is not necessarily full of posh people, but they are very, very, very eccentric. Think a mixture of Zoolander and actual fashion. Like,
Oh God.
When I hear what she's playing, I try to pick some of it out on bass and try to make a harmony to go along with her melody.
how loud can you control how loud your bass is?
Yeah, it's basically a built-in amp electric bass.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make a performance. And with that perception check, by the way, Aurora, you do see a couple dancers are with her this time. They look to be, one is a tiefling, and the other one looks to be an Aarakocra, and she is a cock and teal. Okay, yeah, with that performance, she's strumming along just da 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 da. And all of a sudden the group of people here and they change their course with the music. They don't even tend to really look up. As your performance is just melding with hers, she makes her way towards you, and do you continue playing with her, or do you stop and chat?
I continue playing, but I start like throwing in some arpeggios and a couple just like some neck shreds as flourishes. I don't overdo it, but like every now and then to kind of make the tune a little bit heavier.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, yeah, that's much appreciated. Is anyone else doing anything as they approach? And I will.
What's the history with her like? Is she typically friendly, or is she standoffish? What does that look like?
She is the most personable person. It's everyone says hello to her, she says hello back, she makes a point to meet new people into town. She is she kind of has not necessarily her fingers in all of the pots, but she's so likable. She's there's really nothing about her that goes, huh, maybe not today.
What kind of music is she playing? Is she playing mostly like medieval folk music, or is she playing something a little more poppy, a little bit more of a...
When she was playing, it sounded like the forest theme in Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. So it was bum 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 da 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 da. Yeah, so it was like that. So it matches the mood of the room very well. Sterling, all of these people with her are tasty. In the book sense, I realized I need to defer to you.
I was about to specify. No. Okay.
All of these are very much not food.
Okay.
Very, very shiny, not food.
Gotcha. Okay, then I'm not gonna eat them.
Should I start calling Sterling Boxy?
No, you will not.
No, because my character would literally try and eat them.
Is
You're
there am I seeing any like new dance moves I haven't seen yet?
You are seeing from particularly the Aarakocra and Sterling. This is the first Aarakocra you've seen in the dock, and the first one that's been so brightly colored. A lot of them have been browns and grays. Aurora, the moves you're seeing from her are very, very staccatic. Like it's pop, 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 pop. Kind of like if a bird could do Bob Fosse, that's what you're seeing.
You mean Bird Fosse?
Okay.
And I don't know if you know who that is. So
Yes, I do.
okay, good. All right, so there's your image. It's a walking cockatiel doing Fosse to ocarina of time music accompanied by a bass. Now, and this is all happening in the middle of the hustle and bustle, and everyone is making room for you. It's actually kind of amazing that no one is like going, "Hey, get out of the way." Everyone's like, "No, this needs to happen."
The fact that no one made the Bird Fosse joke makes me sad.
Bird Fosse?
Yeah.
Bird Fosse. Oh yeah, his name is Bob. Bird Fosse. Writing that down for a character name. Go ahead. How would you learn something? What is Aurora doing when she sees these dances?
I think she'd be focusing, right? I mean, we've talked about, she's been dancing for years and she's done some teaching. And so she really just has a big interest in learning different types of her art form, right?
Yeah.
And so I'd imagine she'd like pull out her drum and drum a little while she's observing the dance and trying to get like a feel for that.
I need you to make a performance check to join in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh man, this is. I feel like if we made a drinking game of I need a performance check, I'm gonna be drunk.
Oh.
Jesus, guys. God damn. All right. So now we have a da 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 dum 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 dum. And it's just slowly built into an accompaniment, and the bird, the Aarakocra adjusted to the new beat, and her movements, rather than following the melody of the music, are now following your drum beat, and the other dancer is following just the rhythm of the music. The other dancer is doing more kind of akin to more of a what people consider like a medieval style of dancing versus maybe a little bit modern, like Victorian. It's very practiced. It's very routine. There's hands up and spinning and twirls and step. It's not necessarily emotionless, but it is very pretty and practiced. You guys are like this for maybe 5 minutes or so, and Delphi brings the song to a close and turns and goes, "Well, wow, that made my morning. Thank you so much for this. Who are you? I've seen you before. Mary, who is this?"
Mary.
With the next big thing. My name's Davy.
Davy, I am Delphi Neft of Avantras Gallery. Lovely to meet you. Again, I'm sure I've met you before. And you, Miss, lovely work on the drums. I love watching Mary switch back and forth. Mary is the cockatiel Aarakocra, and she turns and bows to you, but she does not speak.
She's the Mary Croca.
She is a Mary Kokra.
A pleasure. My name's Aurora, but you, and I'll turn to the Aarakocra. That was different and beautiful and wonderful. Thank you.
Meep meep.
She'll turn at the meep to you, Sterling, and give you a quick once over, and then back to Aurora and be like, "The pleasure is mine. I don't often get an accompaniment I can follow. Thank
Meep.
you." She'll turn back to you, again, Sterling. And what is Sterling wearing, by the way? I know what the other two are wearing. What is Sterling attire for the day?
Standard explorer robes and leather armor. Nothing extravagant, nothing fanciful, nothing that is anything other than just generic armor and clothing.
She will give you a once over and look and just go back to the two of you. One, a man who played so well with Delphi, and another young woman who played the drums so well she adjusted her dance to. And then there's this fucking thing, and it's just the dichotomy to her is just, huh? Is he with? I'm sorry. Is he with you?
Of course he is. Inspiration for half our songs.
Ah, sorry. I don't often see Aarakocra around Endercrest. What kind of bird are you, sir?
The only type of bird that matters. The flying and talking kind. Barely. Meep.
A funny fellow. Miss Delphi, we must be getting getting on. I'm flustered. Yes, of course. Miss Aurora, Mr. Davy, was it Meep? Was that your name? Meep.
No. But I'll respond to Meep. It's Sterling. Meep.
Sterling. Lovely. I am looking forward. I am here to watch a couple things and to gather a few trinkets and baubles. I hope to see you again soon, but I must be on my way. I have a couple errands to run, and then I have business this evening. Please enjoy, and do make your way over to the gallery if you do ever get... are you allowed in the Middle District?
Yes, I can go wherever. Why wouldn't I? Meep.
Oh, you can. Lovely. Well, in the Middle District, right next to, so there's a zoo, and about a half a mile from the zoo.
Are you saying I belong in the zoo?
No, it's just
That's
a
rather
giant
rude and
landmark.
disrespectful.
Well, that's wow.
Miss Delphi. Miss Delphi.
Yes.
I know that you have business this evening.
I do.
But are you aware of the concert that's going on tonight? And I hold up the flyer.
She reads it real quick. Tales from Trist Longfellow, son of Thomas Longfellow. Oh! Mary, we are changing our plans for this evening. I must see if this Tristan is truly Thomas's son. Oh, he'll be so cute.
I guarantee you, if you show up tonight, it will be a night you won't soon forget.
I will do that. Dancing scale in. I hope he is okay with me. Send word, Mary. No, Lewis, and the other dancer turns and goes, "Yes, miss. Send word to Godric that I will be by later. I will not be by tonight. Possibly later. It depends on when this performance ends. If it's genuine. you, thank you so much. And as she turns to leave, Lewis turns to the both of you and goes, for your wonderful performance, please take this. And you each receive, and each, because you all are together, you each receive 10 gold, which is an enormous amount for busking. It's a and she makes her way onward. As they leave, Mary turns to you, Aurora, and goes, "It's there are many Aarakocra dances. They should be in the. There are some scrolls on it. If you can find anyone willing to part with them, they'd be in the Arcana district. Funnily enough. Well, good day to you."
Thank you.
And they are on their way. By now, it's turning to be around 1 or 2 o'clock. Business as usual, kind of as soon as she leaves your purview of sight, it's, "Hey, make way! Move!" And everyone's needing to go back to it, like that pause of moving around you has ended, and it's boom, 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 go. Is there anything else you guys like to do during the day?
Aurora, any more inspiration you need for this evening? I do plan on getting my money back.
I know you do. And I'll be with you. But I don't know. We should probably go back and make sure Gladys doesn't need help before the evening.
Of course.
And you all make your way back to the Shell and Ale Inn. It takes you a little bit. It's a pretty far walk. You make your way back, and you are all over in there. Gladys is busy, and once you get back there, it's around roughly 3 o'clock or so. You stopped and perused a couple of the local eateries, had lunch. And you get there, it's about 3, and the tavern is starting to gather steam in prepping for the dinner rush and everyone coming back. So you come in there. Aurora, you've been helping at the tavern, correct?
Yes.
As soon as you enter, you hear, Aurora, I can't seem to get names today. Can you go see about the kitchens? I can't seem to find anything that I put down. And Gladys, our turtle patron of patroness of the Shell and Ale, has these bifocals that are on top of her head, but she has kind of like a long turtleneck, like an actual turtleneck. So her glasses are just out of the purview of where she could reach with her hands, and she legitimately cannot see. So she's just fumbling around the kitchen. It's like, Aurora, dear, please, I need to get the kitchen started. I can't seem to find my glasses, and I have no idea where my husband is.
I reach up and I put the glasses over her face.
Davy! You are a sight today. You are practically glowing. Is there some sort of squeak toy? Is that Sterling? Sterling, did you find a toy?
Beep, beep. I'd be on the roof, so they wouldn't be able to hear me probably if they're inside. But if it is inside, yeah, I'll take credit for that and be playing with the squeaky toy.
I love the idea of just the adventurers happening, and there's like gruff dock workers drinking, and then there's you two enter, get a table, and then just the bird comes out and just starts squeaking a toy.
Let's see. Gladys, did anyone call in tonight? Are you all set for the evening?
Oh yes, we'll be fine without you. For this evening, it shouldn't be too bad. We actually expect a bit of a dip, with what's happening at the dancing scale. We've all heard tales of Thomas Longfellow. I still can't believe. I want to know if he truly, him and his companions, slayed that blue dragon. Ah, what a tale!
It's
It's
probably something the bards wove. We do have a propensity for that.
yes, but even if half of it's true, oh, well, you don't often see sea folk in tales. So, where was I? Where is my husband? And she turns and goes about. You guys, make yourselves home. Aurora, help me in the kitchens, please, just for 30 minutes. I need
Of
your
course.
hands.
Of course. And I'll go start working in the kitchen.
I'll start wiping down the tables and cleaning the mugs.
And Sterling has a toy.
Meep, meep, meep.
The night passes by pretty quickly. You guys are it's a real smooth night. You guys are in this routine of helping out, and the tavern girls all know about Tristan and his ways, and Aurora has a no nonsense in the kitchen.
I plan on departing to the concert, and I want to get there. I don't know, half an hour early.
Sure, awesome. So if we go back to, I'm gonna take you back to the endercrest proper page, and I'll show you. It's a bit of a walk. So you guys are right here, and you need to get all the way over to here.
We're right where?
You guys are right here, right where
Okay.
this brown one is.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right there, and you need to get all the way over there. So you have the span of half the width of the city. You have quite a ways to walk. So I'd say around 5, in roughly around an hour or so of helping out around the tavern, you guys depart and make your way over, your way through the park and making your way across the bridge where the river is, and you go straight up and see the dancing scale. And you guys will just be on the bottom floor. There are 2 floors that I have mapped out. You are on the bottom floor. Please go ahead and place your tokens wherever you would like upon entering. Your entrances are right here. Sterling, we can hear you again.
Meep, meep.
I'm gonna have to get you a toy to make this canonical.
I'm okay with that. Give me a second.
That's not me. That's not me doing the noise, Jordan.
Oh, I know.
Okay, you messaged me and the sound effects.
That was a different noise. That was a while ago.
Oh, okay.
You psychopath. What is wrong
I've been called
with
worse.
you?
You said bottom floor.
Where's the stage located?
My only question is, are there rafters?
There are a bit of rafters in here.
Cool. That's pick a spot that looks like it would have the highest area, and I will put
near the
meep meep here. Cool. Meep meep.
All right. Are you attempting to fly once you get inside?
Yes. Walking is for plebeians.
So as you
Peasants,
begin,
whatever you'd prefer to call them.
Excuse me.
So when you guys enter, it is bustling. It is busy. Normally, you guys are used to taverns. When you come in, it's kind of like cheers. Everyone goes, "Hey, welcome!" And here, it's just packed. You find your way through, and as you get Aurora, you get to right here, and there's this gentleman here, and he goes, "Hi, are you staying the night? We have just barely enough rooms available. Are you here for the performance? If so, stay a while and listen. If not, just make your way to the bar, have a bit to eat, but enjoy your stay at the dancing scale. What can we do?"
I'll take a drink, and I'm just here to see the performance.
Awesome. One of our patrons, barmaids, will be around shortly. If you just make your way to a table or go to the bar yourself, she'll be happy to take your order. We'll get you taken care of. And
Absolutely.
oh wow, what are you carrying, sir? He notices your guitar.
You know what a lute is?
Yes,
This
sir,
is
I'm
not
aware
one.
of what a lute. I am also aware that is not a lute. Thank you. What manner of instruments? I've seen many a performer come here, and I haven't seen this one.
Fancy, but
I call it a 4-string electric bass.
Huh.
Eagle.
And I pull it out and I play an open E.
He's taken aback. He goes, "My, that is wow. Well, I've seen magical instruments before. Yours is definitely custom. It's beautiful. Enjoy your stay at the dancing scale. I'm sorry I was taken aback from that. You guys notice first before I continue. Sterling, how quickly do you fly as soon as you enter the building?
As soon as I have wingspan.
As soon as you wingspan. So you make it to right around here, and you start to fly up into the rafters, and you hear two people look up at you and go, "Hey! What are you doing? Hey!"
Bidding, what do you want? Meep meep.
Are we allowed to be up there? I don't know. Someone get George.
Why would you pee up here?
Hey,
Are you not house trained?
Ah.
Have some manners. Just because we're inside doesn't mean we should pee up here on top of you peasants.
Peasants?
Excuse my friend. He meant to say pissant. Let him be.
Oh, ho, ho. All we were wondering is how he's gonna drink from up there.
He'll come down when he's ready, and when I have a mug for him.
He's not gonna piss on us, is he?
It depends on if you piss him off.
I ain't seen too many of these kind. Hey, hello, little lady. You here to see the show?
I am. And you?
Oh, absolutely. I've heard tales of Thomas Longfellow for decades. I'm looking so forward to hearing tales from his own son.
We'll see. Back when I saw him last, he wasn't telling too many tales.
Oh, you've met him?
I have.
Oh, that's wonderful. Hey, everyone, these people have met this Tristan fella before. Is he what he says he is? Is it true? Is Tristan Thomas's son?
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I start walking away.
Well, if he is, I'm not sure he got the talent there, but we'll see tonight.
So
Ritter, a loud chuckle.
You're sitting here. This table is this where you're trying to sit?
I move away from the conversation when people start praising Tristan.
Okay, awesome. As you guys begin to make your way through, this table that you're currently at is absolutely full. This is the stage right here. I did not make a stage because I already had this map laid out, and this was a lot of work. So this is the stage. JB, if you can you move Tristan back and forth? I want to make sure you have control. Right. Yeah.
You there, JB?
I'm here.
Jason.
Yes.
Can you move that token?
Yeah, I will remove the one I just put up there, but no, I cannot move that token.
Okay. Put one wherever you would like Tristan to be. About an hour before the show.
Oh, okay.
This was just to connotate that this is going to be the stage.
About an hour before the show. This upstairs.
You're upstairs? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you drinking?
No.
Okay.
I am super nervous, and
so this is your room up here if you're looking at the top. So yeah, you can be in your room. You do have ale and provisions and stuff, and there are people that have been knocking on your door trying to get a sneak peek of what you are going to perform and what wonders you're going to tell them.
I'm like, just please, I require silence before I come on stage. Like, just, you'll see in a minute. And like, I'm pacing back and forth. I'm super nervous. This is my first performance of this kind by myself. So I'm like doing thing. Okay, remember what you practiced, and you got this. Everything is gonna be great. And I'm trying to talk to myself, and I'm like, everything's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. What am I saying? This is terrible. This is gonna be a fucking nightmare. And I should have never ever agreed to do this. Why did I agree to do this? Fine. Nope. It's okay. Positive thinking. Da, da, da. So that's what I'm doing upstairs.
That's great. I love it. The patrons are starting to pile in. Davey, you know that the stage is going to be right here. There is a little bit of an empty table space over back here.
Is this a bench right here?
That is a bench. It's more of like the coat check is over here. This is just an empty bench for usually for the perform. Yeah, the stage is right here on this table that will be made into a stage later at some point. Right now, not to. So you're just propping right there, and
yeah, I'm drinking from flask.
So behind the walls, behind you, Davey, are posters and posters. Like, have you ever been to like a club, a club that has all of the previous bands and performances that have been there? You see the wall is littered with bards that have signed, like pretty famous bards that have been here before. That performed at the dancing scale. Go ahead. You can take a 10 and recognize at least 4 of these names. They are renowned, like for their stories and for where they've been and what they've done, even just their craft of being able to weave a song out of anything. You gotta get a sense that this place is legit. And you're settling in with a flask?
It just has water in it, but yes.
Okay. Aurora, and Sterling, what are you doing during this hour? I know, Aurora, you said you were going to get a drink.
I am looking for anything shiny that hits the floor and claiming it. Like, I won't get into any violent altercations. If someone says, hey, that was mine, I'll immediately apologize and go, oh, well, here you go, and hand it to them. But, like, if anyone drops anything, if anything falls to the floor, I'm swooping and going for it.
You're a Roomba.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only for shiny things.
So,
I don't care if it's a toy. I don't care if it's a knick-knack. I don't care if it's a hobnail. If it's shiny, I'm going for it. And it's going to my nest.
So these guys here that are at the table with Aurora, and before I continue, Aurora, you do see this red dragonborn who's carrying a cask. He's bringing another cask for the ale in, and he's like, "Did someone call for me? Did you need me?" And that seems to be George, who that dwarf had called for before. What is it? What do you need? There's a bird up there. Frederick, we've been over this. It's a tavern. The doors are open. Sometimes the windows are open. Birds get in here. Sir, no. George, there's a big bird. Like a person. With like an aarakocra. Or like a giant crow. Because there's been a monstrous crow recently. And he looks up and goes, "Oh shit, there's a bird up there. Hey! What are you doing?"
A friend of mine, I assure you.
And he turns around and looks down and he goes, "Oh, look at that! Hi, sorry. Didn't mean to get you there. I hope I did get you with my cask." And upon closer inspection, he has like a kind of a blue apron on and kind of rough-hewn clothes together, but he's pretty solidly built dragonborn. He goes, "My name's George. It's nice to meet you. I'm very happy that you're here for the performance. We'd love to have you here. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna have to ask. Gonna have to ask Drake. I don't know. I don't know if we're allowed to have you up there."
Why not?
What would be the trouble with him being up there?
That's why I need to ask Drake.
Wow,
I
bird. I
really-
realize the difference. I'm not going to make a mess on your patrons.
Sir.
Do I need to rent a room? I'll rent a room, and I'll just toss a literal handful of whatever I grab out of a bag of shinies and go, "Meh, here you go. Here's for a room. This counts as a room, right?"
Oh my god. You throw like 6 copper and 3 silver at him, which is
Okay.
a little bit more than what you would need to just get in and to get like a real good buzz going for some swill. This place is pretty nice. Staying here would be a little bit more expensive. And he turns to you and goes, Are you all right? I don't think he's okay.
I've not had anything to drink. Was it not enough? Do you need more?
No, no. If you
Okay,
order a
then I'll
drink-
just stay up here then. If that was enough, I'll just stay here then. I've reserved a room, right? Me?
I'm gonna go talk to Drake. I don't see why he can't stay up there. Fred, you're gonna have to just let it go. Frederick, just let it go.
But it's a bird!
What'd you say, JB?
But it's a bird!
It's a bird up there. It's a. I mean, I suppose. All right. Well, if there's no more, sir, take your money back. I don't, unless you're buying a drink. Are you thirsty?
The minute he puts the handful of shiny out, I'm gonna swoop down, grab it, and fly back up to my nest.
That was disconcerting. How fast did you do that? How fast can you move? Can you fly?
I can fly at 50 feet.
That was fast as shit.
Double my walk.
Can you make a sleight of hand check for me, please?
Yes. I think so. I got a B, so a 27.
A B?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't either. Hold on. Oh, it's an at 20.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Holy shit.
Yay.
Your add-on's not working for whatever, but I can see you over there. You are. It just took a second. Nat 20. Aurora, you have you've seen Sterling, in his propensity to grab his shinies back when people are just confused about his ways. And you notice the cask that he's doing that George is carrying is pretty filled to the brim, and it's bursting nearly. And as Sterling swoops down, you Sterling, you kind of nick one of the stoppers on the bottom end, like on one of the sides that he's holding. I'm miming it, and you guys can't see me. Hold on. So he's holding it like this, and you kind of nick this because his hand's out here, and he's looking up at you, and then for a second you're gone, like a flash that like, boom, and then you're back. He goes, and Aurora, if you'd like, there's ale. There's kind of pouring out the back. You can't really see it. There's a cup on the table if you want to grab a drink.
Yeah, I will. I definitely will.
Fred goes, "Get me one too. Get one for
Done.
the table."
Yeah, I'm just gonna. As long as he's standing there dumbfounded, I'm just gonna start filling cups and handing him out.
He's looking at his hand. He's looking up. Go, how'd you do that? Now I kind of want you to stay up there. Are you that fast? Can you watch the door?
Can absolutely watch the door. Is she shiny?
He pulls out. He pulls out 2 gold, and he holds it over his hand real quick, and he goes. And as he pulls it out, he puts it back in his fist. He goes, "Not for taking now. Later. If there's if anything bad happens,
Define bad.
If a fight breaks out, if someone looks like they're going to harm someone else, with the intent of causing a ruckus, which I will not describe."
So if someone attempts to steal someone else's shinies,
that shiny being their lifeblood, yes.
okay, so I will leave that up to you, and I'll roll whatever you want, whatever my intellect and wisdom retarded character thinks would suffice. But based on
make sure no one dies. If someone starts dying, you're a bird, right?
Okay, so if someone falls over, so my character would then look for anyone that falls over.
And you come get, and he points, and you can see very clearly behind the bar over here is a very large bronze-scaled dragonborn, who must be who's the Drake that George mentioned previously. And while this is going on, Aurora, please make a quick sleight of hand check with advantage, because no one is wanting you to stop doing what you're doing. Hell yeah! All right, it's meant to be. It's meant to be. You kind of go full. It just seems like you end up being in this role. You start doling out drinks for people. It's like, you want one, you get one, you get one, and you're just taking a drink as it. You look like a barmaid. You look like you belong here, and by the time he notices it, you're actually giving a cup to these people over here. Fred and his companions are well on their way to getting fucking trashed. They were already pretty drunk to begin with, and you got yourselves double-fisted pints of ale, which is huge. You are a halfling. It comes in pints. Yes, it does. It comes in pints. And Sterling, you go. You turn. You see Drake. He goes, "Go get Drake. If anything bad happens, other than that, enjoy the show. You do that. Come find me before you leave, and if everything goes well, stay up there and just watch him. Okay?"
You got a message on what he's gonna do.
I do. Is it in
Roll 20?
It's in roll 20. fuck yes. Okay, great.
And I'll roll whatever, whenever you need, if I need.
So
Go
if
ahead.
he starts to pay attention again, I'd like to say, darling, I think we're gonna need some more ale over here. I'm gonna need I'm gonna need some for that table and for that table, and I need you to be lickety split. We don't want the customers upset now, do we?
Oh yeah, right away, right away. And he makes it. He turns and he makes it about here, and he starts grumbling. This feels a little bit lighter. And it gets over here, and it's you don't see him for quite some time, and he makes his way he makes his way back. It's like 5 minutes later. He makes his way back. He's like, "Hey, I asked Drake. You don't work here. You know that, right? Like I'm not paying you."
Well, then shouldn't you be grateful that someone is serving these nice gentlemen, huh? Let's have a round of applause for the audience.
And Fred and his table go, "She's the best. She's the best. It comes in pints. She serves pints." And
What's a pint?
it's bigger than her head. Um, and one of the other serving girls comes over, and actually a couple of them have made their way over at the ruckus and go up to George and go, "There's quite a bit of an influx, and one of our girls called in, but I really don't want to share tips. Your call, George." And turns and goes, "Yes, yes, it comes in pints. Fred, stop making people do stuff for you." And they leave and they go about, and one of them is serving food, comes over to Davy and goes, and Davy, you hear over the dim of, "She's the best. It comes in pints. Gnomes rule." It's just everywhere. It starts to get real rowdy and fun, and it's a blast of a tavern. You're feeling vibrant. You see this tavern maid come up to you and go, uh, "Excuse me, sir. Are you hungry? Do you want anything to eat?"
I'm famished, actually. And I turn on the charm, and I reach out to caress her hand.
She has been at this profession for quite some time. As you touch her hand, she moves her hand on top of it, and goes, "Well, sir, if you are that famished, we recommend that you go and visit a different quarter. But if you would like food, as lovely as it would sound, I have a job. Do you want some food?"
I don't think you understand. Can I roll for this?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, if you're, what do you, yeah, tell me what he's trying to do. God damn! And y'all thought that they were gonna be really stingy with the numbers on this, and Sterling's rolled low. Sterling's the only one that's rolled under a fucking 10.
D&D Beyond rolls notoriously high. That was my problem with why I stuck with roll 20.
In your campaign, I was lucky to roll a 10.
Fuck it, I'm having a great time. All right, so this would be the last thing that happens here, and
You cut out there, Brennan.
sorry, I was a friend reached out and they needed me to message them back.
Okay.
Apologies. She blushes very deeply and is very consciously aware of where her hand is now, and she finds herself moving her hand up your arm, and as she does that, a couple more patrons come in and kind of bump her along, and um and she goes, "Oh, right, food, right. Well, I didn't catch your name. What is your name?
My name is Davy, and I happen to be staying at, and I forgot the name of the tavern that I've been staying at, but
Shell and Ale.
and I'm staying at Shell and Ale. If you wish to join me later.
You're a hoe.
And she blushes deeply and be like, and as she turns and goes, I need to go. And she's a human woman. She's in her mid-30s, and she's looking you up and down and goes, I need to go. And goes back to spirits. Does anyone need any food?
I didn't catch your name.
So squeak.
Say what?
I didn't catch your name.
Does this
What
still
is-
squeak?
Darling, I didn't throw it.
Does it still squeak?
Yes.
Does what still squeak?
His
You
squeaky
offered
boy.
food. Most food I eat still
Oh.
squeaks.
Oh, she's
Rabbits,
this is-
rodents.
You're up here. You're about 20 feet in the air in the rafters, and she's a good 70 feet from you.
If I heard it,
it's loud. It's loud.
If I
You
heard
cannot
it, I
hear
would
yet.
bellow it.
Yeah, you haven't heard it yet.
Okay then. All right then.
She's gonna make her way over to you. I was like, I'm so confused.
Did she give me her name
She did not.
when I said after when she was starting to walk away and I said I didn't catch her name?
No, she turns and she starts twisting twisting her hand on her
Apron.
tray. No, tray. I couldn't think of the word fucking tray. Twisting her hand around on the tray, and you see a wedding band along it, and she goes, not tonight. No. And goes about her way. She goes back over here and goes, Fred, do you need any food? And Fred goes, yeah, yeah, I'd like some food, yeah. I need two lamb shanks and some stew and whatever this miss wants. And he points to Aurora. She's great. She serves pints. This is the best night. And he turns and goes, also, don't be alarmed, but there's a bird up there. George knows about it. And she turns and goes, would you like any food?
To me?
No, to Sterling. She turns up to Sterling and goes, do you like any food,
Okay.
bird?
Does it squeak still?
Like, is it alive? No, it's cooked.
Well, how else could it squeak? Is it still served on the spike?
Like a kebab?
You say that, but yes, like a 6-foot kebab.
I'll bring you some.
Kebab.
You know what? I'll see about if Drake can whip up some kebabs. I'll be right back.
Dude, wait a minute. What do you mean whip up? Are they still gonna be squirming?
No, sir, they're cooked. We don't serve live
Oh,
food.
no. You keep your dirty, filthy, burned food to yourself. Thank you very much. I will go hunting later. My food still needs to be squirming when I eat it. Thank you very much.
Nasty hobbitses.
What an odd fellow. Well, all right then. One order of, and he lists off the order and goes, miss, he won't not let me get you something. What would you like?
Me?
No, not you.
I'll take a pint, please.
She looks at your full hands of double fisting pints and goes, "Another."
Don't worry, love. I'll take care of it. And I'm gonna wink at her.
I swear, every time it's concert night, it's just one person after. I feel great about myself.
As you should. I would like to, because it seems like this party is taking an awful long time to get up, and have been drinking a tad bit, and it's so nice to have all of the patrons so happy, and so I would like to do some dancing, maybe with some balancing of some ale, just something really raucous and fun.
I mean, yeah, as long as there's no one else on the stage, just when Tristan comes out, clear the stage. Absolutely.
Of course.
And she scuttles off and gets some stuff. And Davy, you've been tracking her with your eyes, and she goes up and talks to another of the barmaids and turns, and she's a dark uh a dark-skinned dwarf, dwarven woman, um, who turns, and as she's as this woman is talking to her, she's very animately talking, and she pointed back to you, and she's talking again, and she puts a hand to her face and then to her hand, and this dwarven woman, just you can feel it. Her dark skin gets a little patch of pink right above the cheeks as she's blushing. She just makes her way beeline over to you.
Why, hello there.
Hello there, sir. I heard you're looking for a little bit of fun after the interactions.
I heard you like cooking.
Who wouldn't be looking for a little bit of fun after entertainment?
Well, my name is... Oh, goodness, you are a tall one. My name is Glenn, and I'd be more than happy to entertain you after my shift in...
Oh, dear me, Glenn. You seem to be a little bit bashful.
If what I heard about you was true from your little interaction with Cherry, then yeah, I'm a little bit bashful. You stay right there. I'll come find you at the end of the night, okay?
Of course.
It's a trap! It's a trap!
Wait, who?
How long is her beard, by the way?
Her beard?
Yeah, she's a dwarf.
It's not. Female dwarves in this world do not have beards.
Okay.
You should demand your money back. That's part of the fun stuff.
I give her a little bit of a wink as if she like glances back at me as she walks away.
Oh, for sure. She actually bumps into this person as she does it. Goes, "Oh, I'm so terribly sorry," and makes her way back.
Her name is Glenn, y'all.
Her name is Glenda. She stuttered and stammered it out.
Her name is Glenn.
So there's Glenda and Cherry.
Do I see Aurora start to get up and dance?
Well, Aurora, where are you at? You did get permission to do stuff.
I'm gonna start dancing in the crowd right near the men that I've been serving. Just trying to... I mean, we're here for a purpose. We're not just here to have fun. So, trying to have a little bit of performance fun, maybe distract from the performance that'll be coming out later.
Are you doing the dance that you learned from the Aarakocra earlier?
I don't think I'd be doing that one. I think I'd still be sticking to more of a belly dance style, especially with the pints in my hands. It would be easier to balance them.
So go ahead, and I want Aurora. I want you to make a Constitution check.
Ooh, fun.
And Sterling, go ahead and make another Perception check. And you, Davy, are fine.
Straight Constitution.
Straight Constitution.
When I see
Oh.
when I see Aurora start to dance, I start playing this song.
So I got a 7 for my Constitution.
So go ahead and make a performance check at disadvantage for me, please.
Okay. Fuck.
And I can't tell how loud the music I'm
No.
playing is, so feel free to tell me turn up or down.
Well, we're putting it on.
You're good. We can't hear it too terribly well, but I understood what the song was.
A 6.
So as you start to dance, you never put your pints down. You thought you did, but you really didn't. You have one in your hand. You stand one on Fred's table that has now disappeared. Fred took it back. And they turn, and the chorus of the slow murmur of "She's the best, she's the best. What are you doing?
Ouch!
What
Ouch.
is
I knew it.
Aurora, lady, are you okay? And so are you doing you said you were doing the Aarakocra dance that you saw?
No, God,
Oh,
no.
okay. What dance were you trying to do? One previously that you have done before?
Yeah, one that I've done before. Something that would be. I don't imagine that the Aarakocra dance would be very easy to balance something in my hands without spilling it.
No, not at all. You see,
You need the wings for the flappage. It's the flappage that helps.
the plumage is what you need. So the all of a sudden you start to do your first spin, and you misjudge how far away you are from a table and kind of nudge into it, and you don't fall over, but you spill a couple drinks, and they go, "Oh,
Damn.
do that for? Are you okay? Maybe not. No pints for you, little one.
Oh.
Well, you look great.
Yeah.
I don't. And you see kind of the murmur of if you ever see someone at a bar just really try and go for it, and they couldn't do it.
Oh, you are killing me. First night, and you are killing me, Brennan. That's fucking brutal.
I didn't roll.
I'll take it though.
Tristan, you at this point you're making your way down the stairs. And you see, Cherry and Glenn. I'm not gonna fight it because you guys are gonna keep reminding me. Cherry and Glenn go and replace some of the pines, and Cherry actually comes up to you, Aurora, and goes, "Well, listen, thank you for your help. If you have a bit too much to drink, we have a little bit of pepper up in the back that can get you right as rain."
That sounds lovely.
And no sooner did that occur, then you hear a murmur rush across the people. Now this bar is pretty big. Like this tavern's pretty fucking huge, to be honest. This stage is like a proper stage. Tables, there's like 6 or 7 tables here, and all of them have people and stuff in them. One of them, one lady is yelling in the back. She's just frustrated that she's been waiting for this Tristan guy forever. Waiting. And Tristan, you make your way to the stairs.
I come down very quietly. I come down the stairs. I not paying attention to anybody. I don't see anything. Um, I go right over to the stage.
Yeah. As soon as you walk down the stairs, a hush goes across everyone. And there, is that him? Is that him? He looks kind of like everything I've described. It looks. Is that Tristan? It is Tristan. That's Tristan. And suddenly the murmurs become talking, and the talking becomes shouting, and everyone's like, "It's him! It's time! It's time!" And Drake comes over as you walk and goes, "Well, Tristan, we got sent word from our friend Bertram at the gate, saying that you were truly Thomas Longfellow's son. Took a chance on you here. Go perform."
Okay, thank you. And you can like there's still the nerves. Says thank you. He goes over, and you guys notice that he is carrying a lute, and then there is a sword on his back, and he goes to the stage and he says, hello everyone. I am Tristan Longfellow, and I'm gonna play. Well, hello.
Tristan, you do see in attendance, you see them very pointedly. You don't see Sterling. You heard him, but you don't see him. You see Davy over on the side of the stage with a couple other people here.
Nope. Hold on. Do I see them? Let's find out. Sorry, I roll for everything. I'm rolling for everything with this character.
Fuck it, let's go. You don't see Aurora at all. She is tucked away, surrounded by patrons concerned for her balance. But you're serving them drinks. They don't want half full ones. It comes in pints. No one wants a cup.
That's fair.
But you unmistakably feel and see the stare of Davy as you make your way, walking through this little aisle of people. Davy, paint a picture for what you're really dressed as right now. And the contrast is a lot of people are dressed not modernly, but if you took a high fantasy setting of medieval and formed it to today's standards of dress, it's like that. The fabrics are all that. The designs are a little bit more modern.
Picture Edward Scissorhands in funeral black.
So Edward Scissorhands?
But like more morbid.
But with fancier buckles.
Okay,
with more
so
timber.
what would I roll against an intimidation?
Charisma.
Okay.
Are you trying to intimidate him?
Sure, yeah.
I would think that. So here's my thought for the reason that I wrote this. Yeah. I would think that his mere presence in that moment would force me to make a charisma check.
Absolutely. And your nerves that were already on end, it's just like, oh great, now this is not how I wanted to meet them again. Great.
Right.
Super.
So that's why I wasn't gonna have him rolling. Like I didn't think that he would need to roll an intimidation because he's not actively trying.
Oh, I'm glaring
he's
daggers.
Actively trying.
Okay.
So to put this into perspective, I don't know if you were here for this, JB. The Dancing Scale Inn is the place for bards to be able to perform in the lower district. Like, it's people work their lives trying to get in here, and you did it out of nowhere.
And I
so
didn't.
there's
And I
some
didn't even
bards
want
are kind
to.
of myth. They don't know that. No one else knows that. No, Sterling, nothing still. You see a couple people kind of make a sleight of hand, Sterling. I like how you're typing like I feel like Sterling would type. Sterling, you pocket 4 forks, 2 spoons, and 6 copper.
4 forks, 6 spoons, and 6 copper. Thank you.
And no one has noticed that they're gone until they reach for them again.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way to the stage, and I'm gonna go.
Making you wait.
I'm gonna say, "Hi, everybody. My name is Tristan Longfellow, and I'm here to entertain you."
And you hear a roar of, "Tell us the stories. This is gonna be great!" And Fred turns to Roar and be like, "This guy's got the look about him, but he's a bit skinny. Do you think for Thomas's son? I didn't know Thomas had a son." And you hear murmurs from this table that seem to be they all are carrying instruments, and they have been pretty heavily in their drink and are just going, "We'll see about that. How you perform. See how you can tell a story."
And I'm gonna take my lute off of my shoulder, and I'm gonna make a little tune, like tuning it up, and then I'm just gonna start playing.
So wait, you're tuning it on stage?
Yep. It's very cool.
Oh.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Has anyone played Guitar Hero?
Has anyone played it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So you know how if you go ding, like if you miss notes, it makes that ding 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 sound. That's for like 2 minutes.
No.
You're
Okay.
trying to loot this.
Let me.
Yeah, how long it takes to tune a guitar?
No, I just that kind of cool, like being like that, like cool. I'm just like playing a couple notes to make sure it's in tune. Like you've seen where you go to live shows and they just like play a couple of notes, make a few like last minute changes.
Yeah, I do.
That's what I mean.
Forgot how to whisper.
I think
Slash
it's
W.
Whisper.
No, /W space, and then you can type in the first couple of characters of each character name, and it'll show it.
So as I do that, and then I start playing my first song, and it is a tale. It is a song of a tale that my father told me when I was a boy. And that's the. How are you guys getting such good fucking rolls?
D&D Beyond.
I'm on D&D Beyond, and it still rolled that shitty.
I stopped rolling high, so I'll tell you when I get another high roll.
The dice giveth, the dice taketh. So as you start to perform a story, you start in about how Thomas raided a vampire nest with his companions, and the front table's like, "Oh, I've heard this one. That's all wrong. That's not how it happened. That's not how you tell it. You're doing your spaces wrong." And everyone's like, "We've heard this one. Tell us something new about Thomas."
Okay, and then I finish that, and I go back and say, "Oh, you've heard that one before, huh?" Yeah, he says that. He told us that one a lot when I was a kid as well. You want to hear something?
What's he like? What's he like?
You want to know what? Oh, so you want to know what he's like, huh?
Yeah.
You want to know what he's like?
He gotta use the sword. No, stupid. He uses magic. Oh yeah.
So then I go into another song that is about loneliness and how it sucks to have a dad who doesn't care about you, who only cares about the thrill and the glory of battle. That's my second performance. It's better than my first one.
So, when you actually perform something you really actually feel, you don't give a shit about telling stars about your dad. Clearly, your heart wasn't in it. You put your heart into this, and everyone like kind of got into it. And as you go, oh, sorry. Apologies. You pour your heart into it, and people are pretty impressed by it. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, that's pretty good." And you kind of win them back, and they go, "Hey, was that about Thomas? Are you saying Thomas is a bad dad?"
Thomas is a complicated man, but now that I've entertained you guys, just I'm gonna like put my hand up and say, "Do you guys want to see something else?"
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And
you hear from here, it's like, I don't know if we'd say we entertained. You played 2 songs.
Well, I do have something else that I want to show you. Just before I go and do a couple more songs. I just spent the last, little while doing some training with some elves, and I decided I wanted to try my hand at this, and I pull my blade out, and I start to do a dance.
Go ahead and make a performance check and add your intelligence. Aurora, make a perception check. Sterling, I need 2 perception checks out of you.
Perception.
And before I start my dance, I'm going to say, and anyone who feels compelled to join with music or any
Nat
kind
20?
of percussion, feel free to jump in.
What did you say you need 2 of mine? Perception?
Yeah, I need 2 perceptions from you.
So for me, my performance, that is a 21.
I totally trashed the talking about your dad being shitty threw me off. I started to feel bad for you.
Hey, did I get that pep back from the waitress?
Yeah, Cherry brought you a little bit of pep. It's like it's kind of a barmaid's secret. Anytime they get someone that's really unruly or drunk, but they know they're not like blackout or anything, they want to keep them in. They want to keep them spending money. They have a kind of a pick me up. It's a little magical, like a little magical pill.
It's
Kinda
Coke.
like it's not Coke. It's like an Alka-Seltzer, and it just peps you right back up. But with that, so a lot of things just happen. So let's break this down. You're doing a 21. So you're doing an amazing performance, and you have. Do you have a rapier or a longsword?
I am using a rapier for this performance.
All right. Is it canonically, aside from it being in D&D Beyond a rapier, is it a true rapier, or are you making it anything fancier?
It's a little bit fancier than like your average rapier.
Okay, awesome. So, as you begin your dance with your sword, Aurora, your head clears, and as it clears, you kind of were feeling yourself, and you were affected by his song, knowing how he felt on your travels together before. But when he starts this dance, you have never seen any dance like this before. And you are taking mental notes, like you're gonna remember this. Like this is different. This is the blade is essentially part of his body as he flows from motion to motion, almost doing a sword art, but as he does it, it's so fluid. It seems to just kind of go, and as the motions are really kind of flowing together, and there's really no other background noise. You hear a out of Davy's bass that really cuts the cord of everyone looking at it.
I will say that with my performance role, I stumble over the first few notes because I'm still kind of off kilter by the last song that I like pull back.
Sterling, you see two people. You see one person here and one person here. This guy leans over, and you're kind of blocked. You can't see it, but he leans over for a lot longer than anyone would be leaning over, and you think he might have fallen. And this guy here is reaching into his pack.
Do I have the flight room for the guy that's fallen over to fly over, pick him up, and drop him behind the bar?
Yes, you do. You need to make an athletics check to do so. However, you do hear from this Tristan, as they start doing this, I will come to that in a second, sir. Tristan, your performance kind of wavers when you hear the bass rumble in. And this table that has seemed to be really combative towards you just goes, well, man, he's pretty good, but I came here to hear stories about Thomas. I haven't heard anything about Thomas. I've heard he's a bad dad. Yeah. It's kind of shit. Pretty solid, though. And you hear Fred in the background go, "Hey, is he bad-mouthing Thomas? Be bad-mouthing Thomas." And he stands up and goes, "Hey! Aren't you his son? Why aren't you proud of your dad? Ungrateful. He saved part of the realm." Sterling, when that shouting is occurring, and this guy he is not fallen over. He was reaching for his swords and stuff to attach them back to his belt, and he had a bit to drink. You swoop in, and how are you attempting to grab him?
Harm him. My character's assumption is going to be he fell over, he's too drunk, or he fell over, he was knocked out based on what the guard offered me. All I saw was a handful of shinies. I wouldn't have been observant enough to see what they were, so it was, if I see anyone, my character's perception would be that if I saw someone, quote unquote, falling over, deliver them to the bar, and I would get shinies. So the exact opposite of empty cup, get reward, drunk patron, get reward.
It's like Crazy Taxi, but you have to deliver drunks back to the bar.
Yes.
Great. God, I love mini games. As you go and grab this guy, how do you attempt to move him? So you're trying to pick him up. Are you picking him up by his shoulders? Are you trying to grab him around his waist? Are you trying to talk to him, or is it just pick up, go?
Pick up, go, next character. Pick up, go, next character.
All right. As you go to pick this guy up, he is wearing armor, and your claws. As he touches you, he goes, "Hey, holy shit! That's a bad person. Why do you get off me?" He's just rushing you to get off, and his buddies from the table stand up and go, "What are you doing to our friend?"
He was drunk. I'm dropping him off at the bar. I was paid to do this. He can get up and walk. I'm not attacking him. I'm not deliberately trying to harm them. I'm literally just trying to pick up and move. Pick up and move. So if he has like arms, I can easily grab without physically digging my talons into. I'm going to be doing that.
So you go to do it. Go to try and lift him up again. And as that happens, his buddy's goes, "Hey, get the fuck out of here! Get out of here!"
I'm shunned off. I'm not going to try and harm him. I'm not going to force him, because it's clear that he's not getting forced against his will. So I'm going to leave him.
And you, as you make your way back to the perch, you hear George. Wait, that's not what you were. Where were you? You were here.
Yeah, so around there. Good enough.
George is coming by. Go ahead and make another performance check. Both Davey and Tristan, please. As Tristan,
sorry,
make
ignore that
it
one
at
then.
Tristan, make it at disadvantage.
Good move. Good move. That's the best I got, Brennan.
I'm gonna make use of it. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it. And we're gonna use it. JB,
Yes.
can you make 2 performance checks for me, please?
2 more.
Yep, one's at disadvantage. And
Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so
6. So the between the ruckus and the fact that all of a sudden Davey seems to get over his stumble and is making his way over to the bar as you're doing your sword dance, and you've never really actually performed this dance on a stage. It's something that you just practice every day trying to do, kind of like, not necessarily like yoga, but kind of like a martial arts form, you know? And you're not necessarily mechanical with it, but it's nothing advanced. It's like the same thing over and over with another flourish. And you're starting to lose your nerve and lose the crowd. You kind of fumble. Make a dexterity check, and Davey,
Wow.
wait, am I adding my intelligence to those rolls?
Yeah, they're 8s.
So yeah, they're 8s.
While I'm playing, I'm also making up lyrics about terrible dads.
Is the group around me still
What is happening here? Why am I rolling these terrible numbers?
is the group around me still bashing on him for not being grateful and shit?
Fred certainly is. Fred, from the hour or so that you've been serving Fred, Fred likes a few things. He loves crafting weapons, telling and hearing stories, and ale. And his favorite stories are all about Thomas. He is a huge fan. Like a huge fan.
What did you ask me to roll earlier?
I asked you not to roll deception, but a charisma check.
I would like to, lean over to Fred and really stoke that. Like, oh yeah, in all the time that I knew him, he was never grateful for anything that was done to him from his dad. What a good man. All the things that my group did for him that he just threw in our faces and stole from us. I mean, he's pretty terrible. I'm so sorry you're having a hard time.
Wait. Miss Aurora, are you telling me that this man up here, the son, and he's starting to get irate, the son of Thomas Longfellow, slayer of blue dragons, not only stole from you and your friends, besmirching the Longfellow name, but also is going up there and making a fool of himself waving around a fucking sword. And he picks up his points and I was like, this is for this shit. And throws it. Davey,
Would I notice anything since I'm looking for weapons drawn or trouble like that?
yep.
I would immediately try and tackle if I have that.
You have. I'm gonna roll a contested dexterity to see if you can get to him faster than he throws.
You just tell me what to roll.
Go ahead and just roll flat dexterity.
Do I know that he's watching? Can I get in the way?
You assume that he's watching, yeah, but you're on the opposite side, so the cup is in this hand. And you are on completely the opposite side of the table. For you to get into the way, you would need to jump onto the table.
Hey, Jordan.
Yes.
You rolled a saving throw.
Okay.
Just
How do
to
I
go
fix
ahead.
that then?
Up at the top where your scores are, above where your saving throws are.
Gotcha. Okay. Like that?
Waiting for the yep.
Oh.
Like that.
Boo.
It looks like your original roll would have been a 16 though.
So I'm gonna roll. I rolled. Fuck. All right, so I rolled an 18 minus 1, so he's at a 17.
Okay, so he would have gone first no matter what.
He would have barely gotten it out of his hands first. And Sterling, you aren't able to grab it, but you do knock it out of the way. And this pint of ale, because it comes in pints, makes its way over here and smashes into all the stuff on the table, including this man's loot, and all over this man's cloak.
Oi!
And are you saying that, Tristan, trying to get their attention?
Yeah.
And they turn.
What the fuck are you doing?
Me?
What is happening?
Me?
I'm just like
Me?
I stop my dance, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? You asked me to perform. I come up and perform, and you act like this?
There he goes, being ungrateful again. This
Oi.
is all his fault. Damn.
What?
And
Where did you come from? What the?
and you see these gentlemen who are now covered in ale. They turn, and as they turn, they draw a couple of them draw a sword, and one of them just puts up a gauntlet and goes, "Oi, fuck this! I'll get some coin for beating the shit out of Thomas Longfellow's son. I'm already covered in this fucking swill. Let's get him, boys." And Fred sits back, and actually he stands onto the table here, and the rest of the people start just scattering. And we are going to go ahead and roll for initiative. If anyone needs to do a bio break or anything like that, we can do that now. I'm trying to find the turn tracker, and I can't find it because I'm a dummy. Don't roll yet. Don't roll yet.
Oh, sorry.
On the left, you'll see a clock on that thing.
Ah, there we go. Okay,
Yeah.
so
It's a pain to find that one, my friend.
yeah, it's fine. Get people out of the way. Get these people out of the way. Fred's table doesn't make. Fred's table is unbothered by this.
And the minute I see other weapons drawn, I'm going to try and tackle them, and again, they just drop them behind the bar.
Alright, so...
Because I wasn't requested to attack them or anything. My concern was prevent trouble. So, I don't see... My character's perception would be, move the trouble to where I was paid to deposit it.
Alright, so I am... Alright. What is... so go ahead and roll initiative, and I will put it on my tracker. So Davey, you rolled an 11. Aurora, you rolled a 14.
Oh,
my... 14 and 14. It rolled twice.
My roll isn't showing up anymore.
You're fine. Don't worry. 14.
Suddenly, the Portal soundtrack is in the background. Crazy.
Sterling, you rolled a 23. I just saw that. Is that right?
Yes. 1d20 plus 3.
Tristan got a... Are you rolling with Roll20?
Yeah, I rolled a 10.
Are you rolling with D&D Beyond?
I rolled with D&D Beyond and got a 10.
Okay, 10. And now we will do start.
I thought we were going to take a bio break.
Yeah, I just wanted to do the turn order. Go ahead and take a bio break.
Okay.
So, for everyone that's left, how are we liking it so far?
It's good.
I'm enjoying it. What was the charisma check for?
To see if anyone was paying more attention to you now that your performance was better than Tristan. And
Did you hear what my deception check was for?
To make up songs about dads that suck.
Yeah, to make up lyrics about dads that suck.
So I'm using the D&D Beyond encounter tracker, and this is super useful because it automatically put the turn order over here.
And Ritter.
And well, yeah.
Ritter.
Yeah.
Ritter.
I've never had lucky on a character before. If you remember and see me roll a 1, will you please try and remind me to re-roll it?
I will do my best.
Thank you. I will also do my best. That's all I can ask.
If lucky applies, it should automatically...
Will it?
It should. It's hard to do that. Also, I guess I have to get Timberborn now. Or whatever that... What's is it called, Timberborn? What is that?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, is this going to be our new Back for Blood? Or are we still Back for Blooding?
No, we're still back for blooding. Timberborn is much more of a background bullshit.
Ah.
Timberborn is also a single-player game.
Yeah, exactly. So if we have the capacity to do 2 at a time, fuck Timberborn.
So what, how are you feeling, Jordan? I love your character.
Meep.
I love the way that this party is.
Meep meep.
I'm glad that it's being recorded because I don't remember 90% of the names that I just gave people.
That's okay. I'm not remembering any, as my character wouldn't. I'm just gonna meep as I go.
Glenn and Cherry are the only ones I need to remember so far.
There's Glenn, Cherry, Fred, George, and Drake. Those are the only people that you have. I've been trying to write it down.
I love the Harry Potter reference.
And I moved all my Timberborn bullshit to another channel, so hopefully it doesn't fuck with yours, Brendan. I apologize if it was.
You're fine. I just looked up and I was like, this looks fun. I don't know what it is.
Are you still playing on my game, or did you create a new one?
Did you like
the way
that?
Timberborn works is you're allowed 1 save. Only 1. So I've been blowing yours up and growing it.
How much is it?
How much is what?
Timberborn.
I don't know.
I'll have to look that up.
It's still, according to the developers, an alpha build. But as you played it for 3 hours and had no problems, I don't know why the hell they're calling it alpha.
I mean, there were a few problems. There was some pathing issues and things like that, but...
I mean, yes, but you can control the pathing entirely. There's still some issues, supposedly, but for what you saw, was it worth...
It was a pretty complete game, yeah.
Right.
So now I have to decide if the dudes with the swords right in front of me, if I let them beat up the person that stole from me, or if I try and say no to violence. By being violent.
And the other question is, Brennan, do I see any of that? Because you would know my response to that point. Pick him up, drop him behind the bar. Pick him up, drop him behind the bar. Pick him up, drop him behind the bar.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. Sorry, I was getting a cookie.
Cookie sounds good.
You should take a look at Total Warhammer Total War 3. We're just waiting for JB to get back.
Yeah. This person right here, is this person also brandishing a weapon?
Yep.
So these 4.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm eating a cookie.
Eat a cookie then.
Is that an RTS game, Brennan? Like the others?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd buy the other.
Wait.
I'd buy it without looking anything deeper.
What is it?
Brennan, are you looking at the map?
Yeah.
This brick behind me, is it like a full wall or a half wall or what?
Right here
Yeah.
is